Sometimes in mixed martial arts, you fight an opponent that is a lot taller and has a lot more reach than you do. On this episode of MMA Surge, I'm going to teach you how to formulate a plan on beating that taller opponent. When fighting a larger opponent, there are certain advantages and disadvantages that larger opponent brings to the table. You might find that if you're the shorter opponent, you might be a little thicker and a little stockier, and the guy that's taller could be a little longer and leaner. What that does for me is my kicks and my strikes can go through them more. They don't have as much base to protect them. So it's a good time to start throwing leg kicks, working little shots that break the guy down and maybe slow him down and take him away from his game plan. If I'm fighting a very good striker and I'm the shorter grappler or wrestler, I need to get very close to him and take away the space to where we're both at an even position, which is some sort of clinch position or wrestling position. Being a taller opponent, having longer limbs is not always an advantage. Me being a submission practitioner, having longer limbs gives me more advantage and more arm to work with and more leg to work with to possibly achieve a successful submission. So now I'm going to show you 3 tactics I like to use on a taller opponent. So he's in his stance. He's a longer, taller fighter. One thing I have to be aware of that he is longer, that he could hit me from further away. A tactic I like to use is something called a pendulum kick. A pendulum kick is a kick with my front leg that hits him on the inside of his knee. It's kind of just like a little bit of an annoyance. It'll make him look down, and then that's a great time to throw another strike. So this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace my front foot with my back foot. And at the same time, my front foot is going to go directly up with no sort of telegraph. And it's going to hit him on the inside of his knee. At the same time, my right hand is going to come up to my face as I throw down my left hand. Just like that. And what you see, when I go in reverse, when I hit him, my feet do the replacement again. If you notice where my front foot starts, my back foot goes where my front foot was, and my front foot goes to where my back foot was. It's a really good way of coming in and out real fast and not letting the guy come up with a counter strike. And what you could do with a really tall opponent, if you want to cover more distance, you could lean your head back. What leaning my head back does, it extends my foot to a further distance and leaves me in a lot safer area to not be countered with any sort of strike. The second one I like to do, I like to use an outside roundhouse kick. The great thing about this is I could cover a ton of distance with this kick. I could actually cover a lot of distance, get a really powerful kick, and get back to safety immediately. So the way I do this is by taking a very aggressive and long jumping stride. I'm gonna lift my front leg and I'm gonna push off my back leg. I'm gonna jump across and put myself up onto my leg like that, bending my knee. I'm looking to hit, as with most of my kicks, I'm looking to hit him from the middle part of my foot to the middle part of my leg. And same idea, I'm gonna lean my head back, because some guys are tough enough to take a strike to the knee or the leg and they'll still be able to throw a right hand at my face. But me being here, I can see it coming at me, and I'm in such a precarious position down here. It's really hard for him to extend that punch there. When I want to come back, I bring my hand back to my face and I pivot off of that front foot. See how the foot turns through and turns back, down and through, down and through. Always blocking my face, because if he throws a right hand at my face, I can block it. The third one I like to do is a low leg, single leg takedown. What's really great about this is, as him being a tall opponent, he could cover a lot of this area, and with knees he could cover a lot of this area. The one area he really can't cover is anything really low. I'm gonna come from that low area. I'm gonna be in my stance. You can back up a little bit. I'm gonna be nice and low, fighting. What we're looking to do is I'm gonna try to attack this part of his leg. And the way I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna push off my back foot, and I'm gonna look for my right shoulder to end up on the front of his shin, and I'm looking for my right ear to be on the inside of his shin. I'm gonna be in my stance, dive, I cover this distance, and I put one hand on the mat. If you see as well, I dive and I let my left knee end up under me. So all I wanna do, if I wanna finish this takedown, I'm gonna pull his heel towards me as I drive my shoulder to the mat. and he goes down like that. And once he goes down, keep a hold of this shin. You have all sorts of different options of leg locks and ways to pass it. So those are the 3 tactics I really like to use. Pendulum kick, outside roundhouse kick, and low leg, single leg takedown. Okay, let's take a peek at how these moves look in full speed. And you can even kind of combo these moves together. So we're moving, pendulum kick, just like that. I keep myself in good distance. What you could also do is pendulum kick right to your roundhouse kick. Those work really well together. You know, once you get the guy reacting to this one, right for my takedown, just like that. Really good way to put these together, build some speed, keep yourself in good spots. Always drop your head back and away so you don't get countered. That's pretty much how they should look. Okay, so remember when you're fighting a taller opponent that there are certain advantages and disadvantages that he brings to the table. Make sure that you use your pendulum kick as a really good gauge of distance that you can put yourself out of the way and realize how far you have to be to strike him. Work the outside roundhouse kick. If you could chop the guy down like a tree, you might win the battle. And the low leg takedown, that's gonna be huge for you. Anytime you can get your opponent's eyes to change and get his levels to change, you can start to open up a lot of things that could possibly lead to a finish in the fight. With that move, you'll definitely be able to get a win. Make sure you guys practice every day. Be sure to sign up for our email list, and I'll send you 10 of my exclusive moves. All right. Tentacles.